Sorry. Yes. I'm gonna tear this up. Never fails. Sorry, guys. Was trying to. Thought I had everything set up for the video. Apparently not. Of course, you can see my dog right beside me. Still, you're on camera. 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 You don't want to look at the camera. You're on camera. Okay. I guess Silver wants to help me out with the discussion. You're on camera. Alright. Um, what I was gonna say was, um, when right before right after I got off work today, I did get an alert about the flood watch and the time that it's in effect. Well, I can tell you this, and of course, based on what I put in the title of this video, based on the title, is that it's in effect through Tuesday morning. That'll be tomorrow morning. And it's down here through late Thursday night, although uh, it shows from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning through 6 a.m. Friday morning. So well, it doesn't really matter what time it expires. The only thing that matters is making sure you are prepared for it. And I hope and pray everybody's been prepared for it. This has been talked about for a week or so. And um, I'll talk more about the severe weather potential momentarily or in a moment. But I'm really, really focus on making sure y'all are prepared for the flooding. Yes, from what I saw, the numbers, excuse me, the numbers have come down some. The numbers have come down some. While that's probably some good news. That does not mean by any chance or by any means that 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 anybody along the Tennessee River or the Elk River or Big Nance Creek or any of the rivers or creeks or ponds or lakes or anything like that. That does not mean that anybody's in the all clear. Whether the numbers have come down or not, that does not mean it's all clear. I just want to make that very, very clear right now. Nobody's in the all clear from this. Nobody. I mean, of course, the watch means the conditions are favorable. Or it means there's the potential for it based on current forecast and all that. That's the potential. In other words, that it's possible or potentially likely. And everybody should have already been prepared for it. It's been talked about. It's been talked about for a week or so. Now, if you have not prepared for it, and I hope and pray you have, but if you haven't, you have got to be prepared for it now. So far, now I will say this: there was a flood warning for the Tennessee River earlier on today, but it's since been dropped now anyway. But you know, that's just the beginning of what we could be having pretty soon. And probably 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, 72 hours, you never know. That's why I've been saying that you have got to be prepared for it right now if you haven't already. And, and what I mean by being prepared is if you have not gotten everything secure, such as getting everything cleaned up and all that, to avoid any problems with the flooding, do it now. Please do it now. And some other simple things to think about. If there's any flood warnings, flash flood warnings, anything that's related to a flood advisory or alert, especially when it comes to the warnings. Number one, make sure you know you're in the polygon. If you're not in the polygon, if you're not in that warning, all you have to do is stay tuned. But if you're in the warning, you have to take action. Now, does that mean, go to your basement or anything like that? No. What it means is if you're driving and you come across a road that's flooded, do not even think about driving or walking through that flooded road. Because one, you don't know what's in that water, and you don't know if that road's still there or not. It may have gotten washed out. So keep that in mind right this minute. And also, if you're driving or walking and you come across a road that's flooded, very simple phrase: turn around, don't drown. That is very, very simple. I mean, it may sound crazy, but it's very simple and it's very serious. So far, don't have any more flood warnings from after what we had earlier. The only flood warning that was in effect earlier was for the Tennessee River and that affects Colbert and Lauderdale counties. But as far as I know, that has been dropped. I can double check it again to be sure. I do know the flood watch is obviously in place. Yeah, the flood warning's been dropped for now. But that does not mean anybody's in the all clear. It doesn't. Out of everything I've heard so far, the last several days and even a week, it could be a long week of heavy rain, and it's something that's with the potential for flooding that is very, very concerning. And if you go under a warning, take it very seriously and don't ignore it. And as you can see my dog over here. Well, you might be able to see her, I don't know. But if you're driving or walking and there's a road that's flooded, turn around and find another route that's not flooded. Basically, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive through or walk through that flooded road. Because one, you don't know if that road's still there, and you don't know what's in that water. It could be power lines, it could be any kind of debris, or it could be anything. So do not walk or drive through the roads flooded, because you don't know what's in it, and you don't know if that road's even there or not. And two, if you're for someone to get killed or to get swept away, it would be the water would have to be 6 feet or 6 inches, very deep, and end up drowning, end up getting injured or killed. And I promise you, when I'm saying all this, I am not by any means trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to make sure you're prepared for it, because this has been talked about for a week or so. And if you've been paying attention to the weather, then you probably know exactly what's been talked about, and you've probably been getting prepared for it. But there may be people that have not been aware of it, and this is why I do these videos, so I can let those that do not know about it, that can be aware of it and be getting prepared and taking the necessary precautions to make sure they're safe and their property is safe. But most importantly, their life. Alright. Excuse me. But if you're in a small vehicle of any kind, it would take 12 feet or inches of water to sweep away your car. Basically, your car gets swept away or taken into the water, and maybe 18 or higher to sweep away a larger vehicle. So that's something that that's something everybody has to keep in mind of right now. And if those warnings go out, if those warnings are in place tomorrow, anytime tomorrow, please do not ignore them. I'm not being rude saying that. I'm just being firm and straight but calm about it, to let you, so nobody will be scared or anything, nobody panic. Because, one, there's no need to panic. There's a need to be prepared, but there's no need to panic or be scared. I mean, it's okay to be concerned. Let's see. Oh yeah, I do. I do. As far as I remember, I do have clean water, just in case. Okay. In fact, let me tell you what. Let me do something right quick. Take this out towards the camera and show you uh, the information about the flood watch. As you can hear my dog growling. Okay, let me switch the camera. Oop. I did not mean to do that. Oops. There we go. I'm just not having me. Okay. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can. See if I can. Alright, I hope you can see that. If you can, I'm sorry. Hold on, Siller. Well, oh, there we go. Alright, that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep this still, but that's the information about the flood watch. On there it shows, you can ignore that notification, from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning until 6 a.m. Friday morning. Right there it shows through, or from Tuesday morning, that'll be tomorrow morning, through late Thursday night. And, okay, let me fix something. I hope you can see this. If not, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it still. I'll tell you what, let me. Okay. This ought to work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. If you could read that or if you could see that, tell me. If not, I apologize. It says waiting on there. That's my current location. Okay. Excellent. That's good to know. That's very good to know. But those are the locations in the flood watch. Colbert. Yeah, Colbert, Coleman, DeKalb, Franklin, Jackson, Lauderdale. Well, you probably know. Basically, from the shoals, that'll be Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, and Lawrence counties. And for along I-65, and I don't know why it's still doing that. There we go. And for the shoals, that'll be Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, and Lawrence counties. And for, of course, that's also west of I-65. And, of course, the Natchez Trace Parkway and US Highway 43 and 72 alternate, and 20 alternate, and Natchez Trace Parkway, and for along I-65, Limestone, Morgan, and Coleman. That'll be for the areas along I-65, Limestone, Morgan, and Coleman counties, and east of I-65, or along the east of I-65 rather, Coleman, Morgan, Limestone, Madison, Lincoln County, that's up in southern Middle Tennessee, Marshall, Madison, Jackson, and DeKalb counties. That's east of I-65, and Lincoln and Franklin and Moore counties up in southern Middle Tennessee. So basically, all of North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee are in the flood watch. And of course, that's the rest of the details. I hope you. I apologize for this not being clear enough. I don't know why it's not. I might as well give up on that. But you probably know the drill. It's from tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. through late Thursday or Friday morning at 6 a.m. But forget about the times. All you need to do is just be prepared to take action. But the crazy thing about it, or the kind of the odd thing about it, they're saying that, let's see, saying that, oops, this is the strange thing about it, or what, it kind of blows my mind. Of course, one thing that's been talked about is for the residents to be prepared, and that would be for, excuse me, there's along the Tennessee River. Let's see, hang on a minute. Let's see. Let's see if I can fix this. I'm trying to get this where it's not so blurry. It's so frustrating. Oh, that might be a little bit better. Hope. Anyway. It makes me so mad when it's so blurry and y'all can't see it. Let me just switch it back over here to where you can see me. Alright. I'll just read it to you. That might be better for you, I'm sure. But from Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. through Thursday night or Friday morning, 6 a.m. That's the bottom line. Part of it anyway. Multiple rounds of heavy rainfall are expected starting Tuesday and continuing through Thursday night. Surface soil conditions are saturated, and much of this rainfall will occur as runoff. In addition to the excessive rainfall, releases of water along the Tennessee River are expected to result in flooding for portions of the river. The combination of flooding along the Tennessee River and excessive rainfall are forecast to cause many of the local rivers and streams to become overwhelmed and go into flood. Based on the current forecast of river levels and rainfall, residents along the Tennessee River are advised to prepare for flooding. And this is what blows my mind right here. that resembles the Christmas Day flooding of 2015. And I remember that very, very well. It was horrible. Residents are also advised to prepare for worst case flooding that resembles the flooding in 2003. That that's just remarkable. I, that is just remarkable. It just is. That's just That's just incredible. I never thought that would word it that way. I never thought the weather service would word it that way. But hey, that just tells you that this is serious business. This is very serious business. And like I said, the flood watch, it just means there's potential for flooding based on current forecast. And everybody should monitor weather forecast on and be alert for possible flood warnings. Those living in areas prone to flooding should be prepared to take action should flooding develop. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to read your comment. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it was pretty rough. Yeah, it was pretty rough. There are roads that got washed out, and it was pretty bad. I don't recall anyone being injured or killed, which was a blessing. It was certainly a blessing, but a lot of the roads were, excuse me, a lot of the roads were washed out, and it just caused a lot of. I mean, I can't remember every single part of it. I can just tell you it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. Now I don't remember the 2003 event. I was still in elementary school when that happened. But honestly, I don't recall that one. But I do remember the Christmas Day flooding. That was very rough. Or it was really bad, causing issues on the roads and just a number of problems. And I believe it also caused mudslides also to happen, especially along Sand Mountain near Boaz and places like that. I remember it very well. I remember that for sure. It was it was rough. I can tell you that. Let's see. Uh, Crop damage. It probably did. It's very likely that it did. It's very likely that it did. There's a lot of things from that event that I may not remember, but others that I do remember. But it was pretty. It was. It probably did cause crop damage, but There's some things that I just don't recall from it. But it was pretty remarkable. They even caused a few tornadoes south of my location, especially between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. EF0 touched down near the Cullen community, which is east of Tuscaloosa, uh, off I-20, 59, and caused another one near the Birmingham metro area and other places, but I remember it pretty well. And we'll end this video in a few minutes. I have to get up very early tomorrow morning for work. Very early. In fact, in 1 minute, I'm going to have to get off here and call it a night. And for that matter, I will do a video in the early morning hours. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate that. Yeah, you do what you have to do, and we certainly will be safe. I'll do a video early in the morning. I'd say I'm just going to guess between 4 and 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's a guess for now, but we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. Like I said, got my alarm set for 4 in the morning. So I'll do a video somewhere between that time in the morning. And I'll make time to do it for sure. But let's all just pray for the best, prepare for the worst. And you have a wonderful night too. But everybody have a good night. And pray for one of my coworkers. He's in the hospital with pneumonia. I found out about it early this morning before I went into work. And it's been pretty rough. I may end up filling in for him again this week, which I'll be glad to do it, but it's been pretty rough. But the one thing I want to encourage everybody to do is if you're sick or if your kids are sick, please stay home. Don't bring them anywhere public. Just don't. It's just It's too risky. It's better for them to get home, stay home, get better soon, and make a safe and fast recovery than come to work or school or any place like that sick and risk anyone else getting it, especially that the flu's already been deadly. We don't want there to be any more death fatalities from it. Alright, have a good night and be safe. I'll do another video in the morning.